Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to Carlos Ulberg up against Un Jung this weekend. It's a banger. 6 from City Kickboxing on this card. How huge is that in the gym, the atmosphere, when 6 of you are going to war together?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's been a great camp. We've all worked tirelessly within the last 12 weeks. Um, and yeah, I'm excited, man. I feel great. I think the fans here love the sport of MMA in Australia. So New Zealand and Australia's mixed martial arts pedigree has grown quite extensively. So I think yeah, it's going to be a great weekend for us.
Un Jung is two losses. So you're 4 wins on the bounce. So does that give you a bit of momentum? Does that give you a bit of confidence of the result?
Uh, yeah, momentum for sure. But when you look at it, you can't look past the pedigree that Dao Jung has. He's got a complete game. He's a complete martial artist. I don't think you can point out a strong point for Dao Jung. And I think the last two fights would have just been bad luck for him. His fight against well, his last opponent was maybe he wasn't fit on that day or that particular time, but I think he's had some really good fights in the previous years, and yeah, I think it's going to be either a bloody war or a quick night in the office for me.
Um, you're an excellent striker. If you get this win, are you seeing it? Are you seeing yourself knocking him out?
I do. That's something I've definitely visualized, and it's yeah, I do. Obviously, getting that early finish is something that I see and I foresee every time. Um, but I do see him laying on the canvas on the side, and then I jump on that cage. So yeah, it's inevitable. It's something that's it's I've always looked at coming up against Jung because I knew he was going to be someone we'd be facing. So I've always visualized fighting Jung and getting that win over him. So yeah,
Being on the main card on a big pay-per-view like this, do you think it says something about how the UFC see you? And you're kind of in your prime, right? You're 32, so it seems like you're only going one way in your career. How big are the goals here for you in the immediate future?
yeah, for sure. I think I'm definitely not in my prime just yet. I think I'm still continuing to learn and grow. I still feel young. I still feel agile and fit. So I'm still growing in the sport. And I think my goal is to definitely get that light heavyweight strap, and it's definitely attainable. And I think I'll continue to work on getting that. So as time goes, I think in the very near future we're gonna go for that title. So only time will tell.
Does a big win here get you ranked, do you think?
After this, we go for the top 15 for sure.
Only one blemish on the UFC record. Do you want to fight Kennedy again one day?
Yep, yep. I think me and I've always seen that as well. I think myself and Kennedy will face each other after I've gotten the title. I think he will climb the ranks as well. And I think he's come off a loss recently, maybe. So he will continue to learn. I think he's a quick learner, and he'll continue to learn off those losses that he's had, very unfortunate losses. But it's not a dominant loss or anything like that. I think with the light heavyweight division as well, it's a crazy division where there's not a dominant winner unless you're John Jones, the greatest of all time. But yeah, the light heavyweight division is a scarce one. So when I get that title, I think eventually I'll fight Kennedy as well, and I think that'll be a good one for me to get that over him again.
Who's the best guy in this division right now?
How I look at it, the best guy, yeah, it's a tricky one because I'd say there are 5 top guys in this division at the moment because when you look at it, it's all basic. The light heavyweight division is guys that can punch like heavyweights, but they move. So the most athletic guys, they're tall, 4, 5, 6 guys, and they can move, man, and just the most athletic guys. So you're looking at guys like Superman Span, then Yuri, then you've also got now Poatan, who's in the mix now. He's just he's a dangerous guy. So and he's continuing to build himself as well. And as he builds up a bit more weight and momentum in the light heavyweight division, then I think he'll continue to grow. And I think that's his calling as the light heavyweight division. But right now, I think in terms of our mindset and skill set would be Yuri. He'd be someone to definitely look out for.
Do you feel like there's a weird sense of destiny in this game? Like often storylines come together. Do you reckon that you're kind of destined to face Poatan one day with him having all that history with Israel and you kind of looking to run this division, that you guys will come together eventually?
Yeah, for sure. That'd be a fight that I'd love to have because you're looking at two guys with a strong culture base. With Poatan, he's quite deep in his culture, and I'm quite spread in my culture as well. So I think it'll be a very good fight to put together in the near future as well. So when I go into getting that title, I think I see myself and Poatan going for that.
How does the Izzy Strickland fight go? Are you guys having kind of are you amused by Strickland's kind of he's got a big mouth on him? I feel like Israel relishes that in a way here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I've seen a little bit of Strickland's talk. I think he just speaks his mind. So I don't think he's very shy of speaking his mind, and I think that's fine. I think a lot of that's what the UFC does need. I think a lot of people do now script a lot of their stuff. So it's good to have someone in the UFC or the company to just speak their mind.
How do you see the fight going?
It's I see Izzy is just too quick. He's too smart. And also you can't sleep on his ground game. His ground game, he might even finish it with a choke. I can see that I can see that Strickland would get too complacent and then he'll fall into something. And maybe Israel would be even keen to finish him with a guillotine or something like that. So I see it like that.
It's going to be a banger. It's going to be a big card. We'll wrap up with a little quick fire if it's all right with you. So, who's the best wrestler right now in the UFC?
Best wrestler in the UFC. That's a extensive question. Uh, Grappler, eh? I guess when you look at athleticism in terms of like the light heavyweight division, you might have Span, who's got some good um ability or abilities to keep away from any dangerous attacks. Um, but yeah, that's not a question for me. I don't look out for any other wrestlers at the moment.
This quick fire,
Um,
whoever comes
but I
up,
just see I just see that
yeah.
yeah, I just see that Span as someone that you can't sleep on in terms of his wrestling
Who's
abilities.
who's the funniest?
The funniest, definitely, well, funniest in terms of he's just a crazy bastard is Strickland because he says a bit of everything and anything. Yeah,
Who's the most annoying?
Ben Boyce.
Best looking fighter in the UFC.
That's me, man.
To be fair, a lot of people do say that actually. Like seven people have said you out of like the 50 I've done this with.
Uh,
So best dressed.
uh, Best dress would have to be. I like the way that the Charles Oliveira dresses. He dresses quite well, and then you have yeah, everyone's starting to pick up their swag at the moment. Got the swagger jacks, some people.
Who's got the coolest tattoos?
Coolest tattoos. Um, who has it? Probably Tyson. Just he's got some cultured tattoos at the moment, filled at the moment. Tyson Pedro.
Who would you most like to have dinner with?
John Bucky.
Who?
John Bucky.
Who is got the best hands?
Um, be Bo. Probably Bo Dowdy. Bo Dowdy, maybe.
Who would you most want by your side in a street fight?
Ooh, who would I like on my side on the street? Maybe we'll be looking at who do we have? Quickfire France.
Who's uh,
Quickfire France.
who's got the best IQ, fight IQ?
John Jones for sure.
And who would be your dream fight in any weight class, past or present?
John Jones. Yeah,
That'd be cool.
for sure.
Been a pleasure, mate. Thanks a lot. Good luck.
Cheers,
Respect.
Andrew.